So these are my favorite videos to do, even though they get the lowest amount of engagement. I was talking in a previous video about how I was entangled with someone who was part of like a Scientology type organization. And I discovered, once I like put those dots together, I discovered that all of the men who had been approaching me were part of this organization. It wasn't like an organic cold approach. They were all part of the Scientology organization, and they all like knew information about me and stuff like that. And it was like not organic and all of this, as I said. And I caught on to, because this woman had instructed for me to hand me her phone and take the password off, and for her to completely go through my phone. And I discovered that my phone was hacked into after that, even after I changed my phone twice, and that they had access to my notes app. So, these men, I started noticing a pattern of these men approaching me at the same location at the same time every time I was in the city. And I finally wrote in my notes app, stop sending me these men. And I stopped getting approached. So I had a recent adventure on the Sugar Daddy website by someone who I know is a puppet, who I know is an actor, who I know, works for the government. I think he even told me that he works, he does some work with the government, whatever. And here's what's interesting about him. I suspect, so all these guys are actors, right? Like every time I have an encounter with a man that's like, quote, romantic, quote, dating, what have you. I always think that they're actors. I always think that they work for the government. Like these gang members, and they've even sent me like doppelgangers. Like they'll have like the original puppet. And, I keep going through these puppets. Like these puppets, they don't send me very smart puppets. So I keep running through them. Like they keep like not working. So I'll successfully get rid of one puppet and they'll send me another puppet who looks exactly like that puppet that I just got rid of. So in this recent encounter, I kind of they set me up with this kind of like this nerdy guy, I guess. And I think, so what happened was, excuse me, I think he wanted to keep me like in the talking. I annoyed him because I talk too much. I annoyed him, and I think I had like too strong of like a personality than what he was looking for, probably what most men are looking for. So I think I got on his nerves, and they had him keep me as kind of like a pen pal for months. Like, so I had my first date in July with him, and then like 3 months, July, August, maybe it was July, August, September, actually. Oh, wow. I thought he only blew me off for 3 months. Like, the second one was in December. So, I think the first one was in July. The first date was in July of last year. The second date was in December. And they had him kind of like keep me on the line, and I was charging him like re-entry fees because I don't deal with ghosting. That's a big deal for me, is the ghosting, because I notice like it's kind of like a generational curse. I don't have anything to do with certain family members, but I notice it's a generational curse with that side of like having men who like having romantic partners, or just having partners who ghost you. Like the men will ghost them. So I don't put up with that because I think it's a generational curse, and I'm looking to break that cycle. Other than the fact that it's obviously toxic, like I just don't deal with men who disappear and reappear. Like that's a deal breaker for me. So if you're going to do that, I'm going to charge you a re-entry fee. And he was paying that re-entry fee a little bit. He was paying that re-entry. I mean, I didn't charge him, but he was paying the re-entry fee like long enough for me to keep him on the line for months, despite not seeing him, despite having only met him one time. So I think what happened, the first time we met, I think I could tell, like, like the Peter Pan stuff that's been going on, like the girl, like, annoying the Peter Pan. Like, I wasn't, like, obsessed with him. Like, I didn't even know him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't like that, but he, like, kind of was, like, found me very off-putting, I believe. And, so that's why he would only, like, pen pal me and just pay a re-entry fee every time he felt like, disappearing. And, so he was, like, the first time I met him, And I think these are all warlocks, by the way, and they all do like glamour magic on themselves, you know. And he, like, the first time I met, he was very skinny, and, you know, he had like, his hair was this color, and I believe it was slicked back. And he looked, even though he was a lot older than me, he looked like younger. You know, he didn't look like that much old, like, you know what I mean? He looked like he could even possibly be in my age range, you know? And so I meet him that one time over the summer. We're like pen pals, like, you know, he's disappearing, paying the reentry fee. We talk a little bit, he disappears, pays the reentry fee. You know, that's basically the pattern. And, you know, then he randomly insists we meet again at the end of December. So I finally meet him again at the end of, like, not that I've been, like, waiting for this to happen, but, like, I, like, you know, I thought, like, whatever. Because I thought he was, like, paying me to meet with him because he was, because I charge when you blow me off, you know? I charge for that. So I thought he was going to, I thought I was getting paid, so. So I agreed to meet with him in December, and, this is like, so last time was, I believe, July to December of that same year, and he looks completely different. Oh, and even, like, his tone of voice, like, even his voice tone completely changed. Like, the only thing that was the same was the height, from what I remember. Everything else, like, you know, his voice completely changed, and, like, he wasn't, like, skinny anymore. And he had, like, gray hair instead of, like, you know, and I'm not one, like, I don't give a crap, like, these girls who come online who are, like, talking about, like, the hottest guys and stuff like that, I don't really, like, are we overlooking the finances? Like, what, like, you know, like, I don't get that, like, why are we, like, I don't care about that stuff. Like, if a guy just so happens to be good looking, that's more, like, so icing on the cake. You know what I mean? Although I have seen the way, because women are just, like, weirdly obsessed with the way that how men look, even though that doesn't do anything for you, unless you can, like, except maybe, like, your kids will be good looking, but, like, you know, that doesn't really do much for you, you know, as a woman. Like, you know, that's, like, you know, what, like, I don't get that. So I'm not, like, you know, I'm not, like, one of those people who, like, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not, like, one of those people who, like, looks for the attractive guys. If anything, I've been around total rats, like, honestly, like, you know, like, I don't really care if a guy happens to be good looking. That's more so icing on the cake. I'm not, like, I don't care. I'm just, like, I'm just noting the difference in the looks because it was very obvious. And as I said, I think I annoyed him the first time. I think that this was all a setup. You know, obviously he was an actor who was sent to me by my Scientology matchmakers. This is an actor. And I think what happened, because the first time I met him and the second time I met supposedly the same person were so different, I think that they switched out the actors because I annoyed the first one. The first one, honestly, seemed like he was gay. Like, he greeted me in the way that, like, a gay man greets you. You know? When I first met him, it was kind of flamboyant, which I didn't mind. Like, it made me more comfortable. Like, I was having brunch with my gay bestie, you know? But, like, you know, the second time, he was completely different. Like, his voice tone changed. His style was even the way that he dressed did, like, a 180. Like, the first time he met me, he was dressed like he was going to golf or something. The second time he met me, he dressed like he literally dressed like a pimp. And so what I think happened is I annoyed the first actor so much that and that's part of the reason why the first date and the second date there was so much space between the first date and the second date, is that I annoyed the first actor so much that they had to find a replacement. And so the second date was another guy, was another actor. You know, and that's what they do, is they put actors in and they swapped it out. They swapped out the actors. Like, I swear, I genuinely think this happened.